The West African nation of Ghana will hold general elections on December 7 to elect a new president and members of parliament. Vying for the top job of president are the incumbent, Nana Akuffo-Addo of the new Patriotic Party, and the main opposition leader, John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress. It's the third time these two will run against each other in closely contested elections. In 2012, Mahama defeated Akuffo-Addo, winning 50.7% of the votes. But in 2016, Akuffo-Addo defeated Mahama, winning 53.8% of the votes. The general elections will be the nation's 8th successive election since adopting a multi-party democracy in 1992. Across the world, Ghana is often viewed as a model of democracy on the African continent. The general elections are largely peaceful, and the two major political parties have undergone orderly transfers of power. So what outcome will the elections deliver to Ghanaians? Historically, the presidential elections center on issues facing the nation. When you ask Ghanaians about the most important issues facing them during this election cycle, you'll most likely hear about the economy, corruption, and infrastructure. The Ghanaian economy was in a bad shape when Akuffo-Addo became president in 2017. From high inflation and rapid currency depreciation to frequent power outages popularly called doomsday, his predecessor, John Mahama's government, took a $918 million bailout from the IMF and poorly managed the economy, which had grown to as high as 17% in 2011. He had blamed the poor performance on low oil and commodities prices that occurred during his tenure. Nana Addo's government, on the other hand, promised Ghana Beyond Aid, an initiative to free Ghana from foreign aid. That hasn't materialized. But the economy has been relatively stable before the current pandemic, growing 6.3% or more over the past 3 years, according to Bloomberg News. A major flaw of the Akuffo-Addo-led government has been its inability to control rising public debt, much of which is owed to external creditors. According to Bloomberg News, Ghana spent 3 times more on interest payments than on capital expenditures in 2019. The IMF estimates the nation's debt will reach 76.7% of debt to GDP by December of 2020, and issued warnings that the country's external and overall debt are at high risk of debt distress. Many Ghanaians say most of the borrowed funds have not been put to good use, and have expressed dissatisfaction about current economic conditions. Nana Addo's approval ratings on major economic indicators have fallen since 2017. In fact, 35% of Ghanaians say the country is going in the wrong direction, according to a 2019 survey from Afrobarometer, a non-partisan Pan-African research institution. Corruption in Ghana is pervasive. From low-rank civil servants demanding payments to expedite the processing of a document, to high-ranking government appointees awarding contracts exclusively to party financiers and family members. Akuffo-Addo campaigned on the platform to fight corruption. His government created the Office of the Special Prosecutor, an independent agency responsible for investigating and prosecuting allegations of corruption. But the head of the agency suddenly resigned in November, calling the president the mother serpent of corruption. and citing interference from the president for his work on corruption risk assessment of Ghana's Ejipa gold deal, a murky transaction seeking to allow the country to raise $500 million through a share sale on the London Stock Exchange. 53% of Ghanaians say the level of corruption in the country has risen in the past year, according to Afrobarometer. John Mahama, on the other hand, has not escaped corruption-related issues. In 2016, he accepted a Ford Expedition from a construction firm bidding for a lucrative government contract in 2012, while he was serving as vice president. On infrastructure, many Ghanaians say Mahama has a better track record than Akuffo-Addo, citing his flagship project, the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, a 600-bed hospital which is the largest in the nation. So which one of the candidates will emerge the winner? Akuffo-Addo says he needs 4 more years to complete his vision for the nation. Mahama, on the other hand, claims the current government has failed and the nation will need a new leadership to steer affairs. It'll be a closely contested election, one that will also test Ghana's shiny democracy status again. Will Ghanaians live up to it? This is Africa Wall Street. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing to our channel. See you on the next one.